What is up, everyone? Welcome to Friday, Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony. A little bit of a different location today, but hey, happy Friday, everyone. I hope you all had a great week and a good weekend that's coming up. So today I am wearing my Rolex GMT Master 2 on a Jubilee bracelet. And today is the Q&A, of course. And for those of you who don't know what we do on Friday, if you're a new viewer or just whatever, we do the Q&A. And all you got to do, if you want to participate in this Q&A, just leave your question in the comment section below, and it'll be featured on an upcoming Q&A. So on that note, let's get started. Have some questions today, a lot of Rolex questions too. First one from Mothra1. Tony, have been watching the channel for a while and love your content. Thanks, appreciate that. First time asking a question. How do you balance buying a watch that value? For example, if you love a watch that is overpriced and will lose over 50% of its value when you leave the store, is it worth it? After I bought my first Rolex, I think about this a lot now, and it influences what I buy. How do you balance this out? Thanks for answering my question. Overpriced? Well, okay. For one, I don't think about that at all. That's not what watch buying is about. You buy what you like, what you love, regardless. You go to the AD. I don't look at a price. If I see a watch at the AD and I go, that's just really expensive, then, you know, if I really like it and I've got the funds to do it, I'm going to buy it. I don't ever think about what it's worth on the secondary market. It's just that I buy watches because I love them, not anything to do with holding value or an investment purpose. So, I mean, not to come across harsh or anything like that. It's just really, you should buy it because you love it and not think about the, you know, the secondary value or whatever, how much it holds. Look, we all buy new cars, right? Or maybe we don't, but you know, you drive off the lot, that car drops however much in value as soon as you're off the lot. And we don't think about that, do we? We buy the car because that's the car we love, right? So, but I do appreciate your question, man. Thanks a lot. Next question. Wo ma yesa. How's it, brother Tony? Thank you for being a genuine brother. You must be from Hawaii. How's it, man? Good. I'm good. We all appreciate your videos. Thank you, man. Been a fan since day one. Backstory. Started the wristwatch hobby during the pandemic. Fast forward to 2025. Received first allocation when released the 40mm Land Dweller in stainless steel. I use it swimming in the ocean, vacations, daily activities. I don't treat it as a hype watch, although we all know the Land Dweller in stainless steel 40mm is currently unobtainium. This is correct. You're very lucky to get that watch, man. Don't know how you did it, but congratulations. Question, do you wear your most expensive hype watches without worrying about it getting stolen, wet at the beach, scratched to kingdom come from daily life? My friends say don't wear my Land Dweller to pick up lumber, etc. I wear it regardless. Thank you and God bless. Dude, if that's what you want to do with a watch, it's your watch, man. That's awesome though. That's, you know, congrats. That's more than difficult to get. That's probably as hard to get as the Daytona, you know, Panda. I don't know. When I don't do physical labor or anything like that. I don't lift lumber or anything like that. Besides, I have a freaking broken back, so can't do any of that. But no, I wouldn't. I mean, and if I was going to the beach swimming, I'd probably just, you know, I don't think I would wear this, just simply because I have other watches that would be more suited to diving, if, you know, or water or whatever. And, you know, the 904L still is perfect for, you know, like ocean water. But yeah, I don't beat my watches around that much. I do have beaters, so to speak, you know, but you know, if that's how you want to wear it, that's how you want to wear it. As long as you're enjoying it, that's all that matters, man. Appreciate your comment. Appreciate your viewership as well, man. Next one from Hap Keto Roy. What's up, dude? How are you? I have the Rolex Sprite and recently was allocated the Pepsi. Would you keep one and trade the other for a flat 4 Submariner? It's a good question. For those of you who don't know, the flat 4 Submariners, basically it's a Kermit, okay? And us watch geeks will, you know, any little type of thing that's different from the norm makes that watch far more sought after and rare. So the difference between the Kermit 4 and the flat 4 is the 4 on the bezel. It's different. They call it flat. It looks like it's more been squashed than the regular 4 on the bezel. So it is a sought after watch, very difficult to get. Well, it's not very difficult to get. There's plenty of them on the secondary market, don't get me wrong. So they're just a lot more expensive. So that in mind, um, you have the Sprite and the Pepsi. Well, I would keep the Pepsi for sure. Um, but but I'm not a big Kermit fan either. I don't know about the green bezel, whatever, as much. But it's a nice watch. But I don't know. I'd keep the Sprite and the Pepsi, really. But if you really want the flat 4, then do it. You know what I mean? Because the Submariner is obviously iconic. So, but let us know what you do, man. Appreciate it. Next one from Levita57. Hey, Tony, great video as always. I'm getting so close to getting a new Rolex. My question is, I have 3 watches I want and can only buy one. Should I wait for the new Land Dweller 40mm in hopes of getting one, or just be ecstatic with my GMT with Jubilee in black and gray? I've been wanting the GMT long before the new models came out. Best to you and yours. Yeah, I mean, if you want the GMT, go for the GMT, and if that's what you've requested and that's what you've been looking for, you're going to get the GMT before you get the Land Dweller. I mean, the last question with getting the Land Dweller is pretty freaking rare, man. But yeah, and the GMT Bruce Wayne that you're talking about, that's a really nice watch, man. I would go with that. I think that would be your best daily overall anyway. You know what I mean? But good luck with that, dude. Appreciate it. 458V8. Great video. Hi to Paco and Uku. They say hi back. Thanks to you watching your videos and learning about the AD, we made a good relationship at our AD and recently received a Batgirl and a turquoise OP. Well, congratulations. I have those 2 watches as well. Our question is, what are your thoughts on watch winders? Are they good, or do they overwork the movement? I've had this question before, and there's a lot of like debate on that. There's a lot of debate on watch winders, but the thing is, your watch is meant to be wound and worn. You know what I mean? And watch winders, depending on the watch winder you get, if you get a decent watch winder, it's not just going to wind the watch continuously. That's not what watch winders generally do. I mean, some of them do, but you get a decent watch winder, and you can have they have settings on it to how many winds it'll do per hour or per day. Will it go clockwise and counterclockwise? So no, watch winders don't hurt. Sometimes it's fine to give your watch a break if you're not wearing it, but you don't always have to keep them on a watch winder. However, there's nothing wrong with them. So whoever says it's just puts too much strain on the watch is kind of BS, or they just have a shitty watch winder. So get a decent watch winder if that's what you're going to do, man. Appreciate it. Next one, Oscar Lopez. Hey, Oscar, how's it going, man? Hope you're enjoying that artwork. By the way, yes, I have artwork. Jean-Claude is a watch ghost. There's not a lot of watch art out there, and so my art is based off of Jean-Claude the Watch Ghost. We don't have too much time, and time is valuable, precious, and whatever. He's a protector, blah, blah, blah. He's awesome. And you can check out Tony Gamble _ at Instagram, Tony Gamble _artist at Instagram. And that's best way right now to get a hold of me regarding my art. I just had not had time to get the website and everything together yet, but if you're interested, check it out. Anyway, your question, man. Hi, Tony. Just another comment / question. If a person just wants Rolex models that trade above MSRP in the secondary market, shouldn't they just go straight into the secondary market to buy them? If a person wants both Rolex watch models that trade above MSRP and also below MSRP on the secondary market, then they should go to a Rolex authorized dealer. Does it make sense, or am I wrong? Don't view that as Rolex ADs playing games. It makes perfect sense to me. If you want to add this question to your next Q&A or a future Q&A, great. My goal is to build a lifetime relationship with only a couple of ADs, and I mean till the day I die. Cheers. I'm still thinking about that weed. What was that? Sorry, pardon me. That weed question. Cheech and Chong come to mind. Bill Maher, Woody Harrelson, and Willie Nelson. Weed seems to be a big part of their lives. They even opened up a weed shop in California. Cheers. Yeah. Thanks, Oscar, for your question. The thing is, between like Rolex ADs and gray market, secondary market. I mean, some people like me, I want to go to my AD to purchase a watch. I like the experience. I like just the overall aspect of buying from the AD. it's kind of a cold experience when you get it from a gray market, I think, but I don't shop gray market for Rolex. I always pretty much any pre-owned Rolex I bought, I'll buy it from a friend of mine who owns a jeweler in Toluca Lake. um, if you choose to go on the secondary, and I'm not talking about value, it's just, to me, it's like, that is like, if you really, really, really want the watch and you don't want to wait at the AD for it, then go to the secondary. And if you have to pay a premium, if you love the watch, then buy the watch. And if you have the funds to do it without thinking about it, then that's all that matters, as long as you're enjoying the watch, right? So whether it's above MSRP or below MSRP on the secondary, if you want to go to the AD to purchase new, then go to the AD. It doesn't hurt to put your name down or go and try to build a relationship with the AD. And then if nothing happens in a while and you just get frustrated or sick of it, then go to the secondary market. Just be careful as to what you're getting. And I appreciate it, Oscar, as always, man. Panda Gadu 10. Happy Friday, Tony. Is the slub is the sub bluesy worth buying at the AD? Does it hold value? Another one of those value questions, man. Yeah, all Rolex hold value. If you've got a watch and you need money quick, anywhere in this world, you're stranded in freaking Paraguay, and you've got a Rolex, you can sell that Rolex and get at least a plane ticket home, right? So yeah, I mean, the bluesy, it's the 126613 is the latest reference, right? They run at about, oh, what are they, 17 grand, two-tone watch, right? And they're rolling about 15 to 20 grand on the secondary market. So they hold value. I mean, I don't know what you're looking for. If you want to try, if you're like saying, hey, I can buy this watch for 17 grand and sell it for 30, that ain't going to happen. But they all hold value, man. Rolex are a great value proposition. So thanks for your question. DB 9071. Hey, Tony, if you stand by, oh, yeah, okay. Sometimes I get these kind of comments that are snarky and shitty, I don't know why I printed this out, but I'm going to just read it anyway. Hey, Tony, if you stand by your word that ADs don't play games, then get your AD to give me a call on a Batgirl. If it's that easy, I'll expect a call in a month. Yeah. And so here's the thing. So I did talk to my sales rep, Juan. He's going to be reaching out to you and send you whatever you want, okay? Because you deserve it, man. This comes from people that most likely don't own a luxury watch. They're pissed off because they can't get anything. I don't know, whatever. I don't know why I printed that out. Anyway, I was in a mood, maybe. Who knows? Chrono Sport Mike. Hey, Tony, happy Friday. Last week, you had a few questions on Microbrands, and I wanted to ask if you or any of your viewers have had any experience with the brand Awake, such as their Sans My Silver Leaf line. They have stunning dials, although I've never seen one on the wrist. I feel as though they can rival an H. Moser from aesthetics standpoint. They are all handmade dials in Vietnam, and the calibers are workhorse Le Jeu Perret G101. The only problem, from what I can tell, is that the wait times. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Thanks, and have a great weekend. Hey, Mike. Yeah, I don't like the brand just because I don't like the name. You know what? It's weird. I mean, what are you wearing? Awake? It's like, are you going to a wake, like a funeral, or are you awake because you just woke up? I don't know. I don't like the name. Do they make great watches? Yeah. I mean, they've got some hype behind them. You know what I mean? Do they rival Moser? No, I don't think so. Not even close. But they're a nice watch. But you can't compare it to a Moser anyway, because the price point on those things are, what, 2,500, maybe 3 grand, something like that. In Moser, you're getting up to 50, 60, 100 grand, depending on which one it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. If you love them, that's all that matters, man. And granted, I haven't tried one on and I haven't seen it in the person, so I'm really no person to judge. All I can say is I don't like the name. I think aesthetically they look pretty cool. Don't think they look as good as Moser. Not as clean, not as sharp, not as refined. But I appreciate your question, man. Thank you. Tom R6U5T. Tony, what are your thoughts on Carl Bucher? I have my eye on a limited edition Bicompact's annual calendar, mainly because it looks very similar to Lange, but that might be unattainable for me. Thanks as always. You mean Carl F. Bucher? Don't forget the F, bro. Carl F. Bucher. Well, Carl Bucher, I had a Carl F. Bucher, man. I love that watch. It was a power reserve. I ended up getting rid of it a few years ago, several years ago, I think. But no, they do. They make great watches. Is it the Monero Flyback? They have anyway various different watches. They're out of business now. I mean, the brand as the watch, Rolex put them out of business. Okay, because Rolex purchased Bucherer a few years ago. And then they ceased production on the watches. They were kind of expensive and just they're not really popular, you know. But they are great watches, so you know there's nothing wrong with it. But you gotta hand it to Rolex, man, because you know Rolex essentially bought Bucherer. Now you have brands like Chopard, Cartier, Panerai, Audemars Piguet, Vacheron Constantin, you name it. That Bucherer carries as a retail outlet. So Rolex is making money on all these other brands as well. So Rolex are pretty freaking smart. But yes, the watch is nice, man. If you want to pick one up, you could probably pick them up fairly cheap now since the brand is defunct as far as a watchmaker. Appreciate it, dude. San Cheese 32. What are your thoughts on the Sinn 104 white dial? I think it's awesome, man. German-made brand. There's only one authorized dealer that you can get them at in the United States, and that's an online platform as far as I know. That's how it was when I had mine, because I had one. I had the anthracite dial though, but I loved it. It was my daily for a couple of years. And yeah, German workhorse Solida movement. Good price point. It was like $1,500 back then. I don't know what they retail at now, but that's about what it was then. But thanks for your question. Sooner SJB. Hi, Tony. Thanks so much for taking my question on watches. My son was taking my question on watches that my son was considering. He ended up purchasing a Tudor Black Bay 58 with a blue face and bezel. He's very proud as it's his first luxury watch that he's purchased. That's awesome. Congratulations, man. I had a Black Bay 58 blue. It's freaking, I love that watch. So yeah, congratulations to him. I hope he gets many, many, many years of enjoyment on that. I send my Rolexes every 10 years or so for service. Do you recommend a more frequent schedule for servicing? Yeah, that's another question that comes out, you know, with the servicing on watches, you know. Generally, you know, you don't need to service a new Rolex for about the first 10 years. You're fine. If you're servicing every 10 years, I'm guessing you have some vintage watches. And you know, it just depends. If it's running correctly, then you should be fine. But it is good to take it in probably, I don't know, if you have vintage watches, I wouldn't leave it 10 years. I would take it in, you know, every couple of years just to have it looked at, make sure the seals are good, make sure it's running right, make sure the oils are all good. So, but yeah, on a new watch, 10 years is fine. But you know, if it's really just kind of keeping time and doing well, then you know, just leave it until something happens, and then of course you have to go get it serviced if something happens. So on that note, you guys, I appreciate it, and thanks. We'll see you on the next one.